Welcome to Riding the Wave podcast with your host of the night, Mo to the Mo, and
MJ in the house,
along with Aid. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, guys. It is Friday night, and we are feeling all right. And we're going to jump right into this topic of self-love, what it is to love yourself, show up for yourself, and be present in the moment.
Yes.
So,
but first, we always do a cheers.
Let's do a cheers.
Hope
Clink,
you guys
clink,
had
clink.
a great day.
Yeah.
All you guys out there, hope you guys had a great day and stay amazing.
We hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. So, first of all, let's kick off with how's everybody doing?
I'm doing great. I'm having a
How's
great
everybody's
time.
current right now? Everybody feeling good? Nice and loosey-goosey?
My current is great. I actually just resigned my position at my last job, and I have a new job opportunity coming up on Tuesday. So I'm riding that wave.
Let's
for
go,
sure.
baby.
Oh,
Let's go.
nice,
Let's do a
nice.
little clap. All
New
right.
opportunities, you know.
New journey.
Yep.
New voyage. I like it. All right.
New chapter.
New chapter. All right. So self-love. You know, that's a pretty interesting one. What is self-love? What does that mean? So let's kick this off. Mo, what is self-love?
So even with me just sharing right now, diving into this new job opportunity and leaving my current job, it started with me realizing that I need to start putting myself first. I'm about to hit 40, and
You look good, by the way.
thank you. I'm about to hit 40, and I don't feel that I ever really showed up for myself. I just knew what it was to do and go, but not fully show up for me because it wasn't something that was modeled to me. So now that I'm evolving as a woman, I've always struggled with what it is to love Monique. Do I even love Monique? Do I know who Monique is? And that's how I have to reference myself to fully understand that I'm a person at the end of the day, the same way that I put other people before me, whether it's my kids, my family, partners, and things like that. I notice that there's something about me as far as I'm a visual person, and I study people. Like,
A people watcher.
I definitely.
Yeah,
I
same,
love going to
same.
restaurants, places, and I love people watching.
So you're that creepy girl at the
Yeah.
bar that just,
Yeah, right,
just
just
staring at
staring.
everybody, judging, criticizing. Why is she wearing that?
Gotta keep the head on a swivel.
But you know, like if it's somebody that I love and care about, it's always beneficial to them. But see how I just said that? It's beneficial to them, not
Yeah.
to me.
Exactly.
So I'll get to know your likes, your dislikes, what makes you upset, what you're bothered by, all these things. And it took, I'm gonna say,
So it sounds like you're like very detailed.
oh, very. I'm detailed in my work. I am detailed when it comes to cleaning and organizing. I would say that's as they would say, the Virgo in me. But
You women and your signs.
there's always a sign that you gotta
Right.
look out for.
What's your sign, MJ?
Sagittarius.
Same.
How about you?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
Okay.
Yes,
Woo,
sir.
woo, woo.
You know.
That's
You
why
know.
you.
Yeah,
guys
that's why we
have a-
met.
That's why we're
we
here.
met so
That's
well.
why we're
It's a
here.
love-hate
It
relationship.
was love at first sight.
But yeah, I would definitely say that I learned that I was able to study people, know their likes, their dislikes, their wants, everything about them. But I could not sit here and say that I knew myself the same way I knew them. And that right there really turned on something in my head where I was like, you need to stop focusing on other people and you need to start focusing on yourself.
That's
Yes.
that's a good one.
Yes.
How about you, A? What's loving yourself? What does that mean to you?
To me, like, to be honest, I just started as well. Like, again, I always felt like I was in autopilot, just really just going with the motions. But loving myself is, just taking time to accomplish the goals that I set for myself, and, give myself time and distance myself from everybody, you know what I mean? Because you need time to yourself to think, to reflect, to figure out your next move, or, where you want to end up in the future. So with that being said, it's like I really, and it's hard because I'm always, again, like Mo was saying, like I'm always like, I think I was a people pleaser, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I did more for other people than I did myself. So it's a little difficult to like really cut people off, even in your family, because I was always the one like, oh, party over there, or, or barbecue or birthday party, or, whoever it was, like I'm there to show my support. And then it's just like in return,
Yeah,
where,
there's
And
where was everybody at?
and do you feel like, because I know for me, I feel like I don't ask for anything. Like I'm the type of person, like I really don't ask for much of anything. So when I do and I don't receive, that same support that I constantly dish out, then I get stuck in like my own feelings as to like, damn, you know, how is it that here I go above and beyond, and the one time that I need or want you, like you can't show up for me? My expectation then, like it goes from here to down here. And one thing that I've learned, I would say the past couple of months, is to stop setting expectations.
Yes.
yes,
Agreed.
that when you set expectations, you know, when you end up with disappointment, it hurts even it cuts that deep.
Yeah.
And like for myself, as far as like loving myself, um, I didn't think I started loving to myself until I started like accomplishing things, which made me feel more positive about myself. I do believe loving yourself has to do a part of loving yourself um, does have to do with how, at least for myself, is what is it that you're accomplishing? What goals are you setting for yourself uh, to whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish? Because that does make you feel good.
Yeah.
You know, when you're not out there accomplishing things and not getting things done, of course, it's gonna be very difficult, for you to love yourself.
Definitely.
So
At what point did you realize, like, hey, I got to start loving myself more?
probably when I had my son. I think once I had my son,
So, wait, when you had your son, you just, hey, you know what? I'm gonna love myself a lot more than my
yeah,
son.
of course. So when you're a parent, how can you be a good parent when you don't love yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For you to
agreed.
give that. Oh, now it makes sense. Now
It
it's all
does.
coming
Okay,
together.
now it's coming.
Pieces
The
are
pieces
coming
are,
together. But yeah, like and that's what makes a good parent. When a parent does love themselves, they're able to give a lot of positive love to their kids or whoever it is, their partners and so forth. So the moment I had my son, that's when something in my brain just clicked.
And I think, one thing that we all need to remember is it looks different for all of us, and we should never compare, because as my brother
Yes.
just said right now, it was when he had his son, and he's questioning like, "Oh, so when you had your son," my brother just recently had a child, and not recently, like within a couple of years, How old's Aaron?
7.
7. I had my first kid at 16. I'm now about to be 40. Nowhere was I thinking the way that my brother was thinking.
16 and pregnant. She was on that show,
I was
y'all.
the
She was
original.
on that show.
I
She
was
was
the
one of the original
He's the
OGs.
OG for real.
But I wasn't
One of the
compensated
first.
or paid. But that's for another time.
Huh.
But yeah, so even at 16, nowhere did that click. And then I had my second son at 21. Nowhere did that click. Like I said, it just clicked to me almost 2 years ago that I didn't love myself. And that's where it's a question that we need to ask ourselves. Do we really know ourselves? Do we really love ourselves? And do we really show up for ourselves?
And yeah, that's an
Yes.
important question to the audience. How many of you generally do love yourselves? How many generally like you guys put yourselves first?
Yes. Invest in yourself.
Um, that's something we want to know. I think that's important for all of us to and reach that happiness. It starts with number one. It starts with us.
Yeah.
You know, it's not being selfish to work on yourself. I want to make that clear. It's not, and you have to.
Right.
And then the importance to you have to acknowledge it. I think sometimes we deflect, and because of what we need to work on, and a lot of times when we need to work on things, it's ourselves. But number one is we don't need other people to make us feel love or make us feel, give us that love, that whatever it is that we may feel like we're lacking, because we have the ability to do it on our own.
Yeah. I think the best thing I could have done was like distance myself from people. From even like I didn't see it at the time, but like I was around a lot of negativity. And it was just like obviously I was there to help, whether it was my friends or family members, but it was just almost the same thing and I was getting consumed by it. And I could feel it. I could feel it just draining me and just, I was not productive. I was not doing anything for myself. I was barely doing anything for my family, and it was just once I really started to distance myself from all of that and like again, like I said, love myself and appreciate my time, that's when I started feeling a lot better. Better things happen.
Mo, so at what point in your life did that love yourself kick in? Because I can imagine a younger audience may not recognize that. So, what experience can you give? What are the signs that a person is not loving themselves? Or what is it what experience did you experience that where you didn't felt like I'm not loving myself?
I would definitely have to say people pleasing has always been my biggest downfall. I always felt like I had to show up for others in the smallest way. My heart is always in the right place, but there's times that I have to remind myself that if I'm tired because of maybe something that I'm going through in because life, I mean, when you're living life, life will consume you at times. So when you're lifing and you have kids and you have work and you just have your own issues and struggles, and then somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, can you X, Y, and Z?" Or, "Hey, do you have time to hold space for me? Because I need to unload."
Mm.
Sometimes it's okay for you to say, "You know what? I'm going through my own issue. I can't hold space for you in this moment, but what I can do is pray for you." I now walk by faith, so I'm big on praying. But it's also okay to say, "You know what? I'm sorry. I don't have the mental capacity to be there for you in this moment." That doesn't mean that you don't care about this person, but that was my first sign of being able to show up for me, where I'm not saying, "Well, nope, I don't have time for you. Like, I don't care." I'm telling you exactly in this moment right now, I cannot. But that's not to say maybe in days to come, I will follow up with you, check up on you. And if at that point you want to be upset and mad and refrain from opening up to me, that's okay too. But at least I'm able to say I did it in the right way and I showed up for myself in that moment. I've always felt like I took on everybody's problems and issues, and it was so much weight for me to carry that now that I'm able to just like, look, today I just can't. I feel so free and liberated. as to that doesn't make me a bad person.
It makes you an awful person. I'm just kidding.
Right.
How about you, Ace?
What do you mean? No, I agree. I mean,
How about you, Ace? Like, when did you notice, like, damn, I need to start working on myself? Like, was it when you had a family and all that? Was it prior to the family,
it was like,
or does it come and
no,
go?
it was literally probably like 2.5, 3 years ago, to
Okay.
be honest. You know, I was really bad into drinking. You know what I mean? I was an alcoholic. You know what I mean?
Well, what are you drinking right now?
Well, I mean, I was really, I drank a lot of beer. You know, it's water. No, I drank a lot of beer, but I got to the point where I would blank out, or I would, because I was holding so much in and I didn't talk or express my feelings, or I was always getting angry. I was ready to fight everybody, anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been
Because
there.
I had so much anger in me, and it was enough. I was destroying myself, destroying my family. Like, people had to, like, pretty much ensure, like, are you gonna be cool? You're gonna be chill? Like, before we even started, like, hanging out or partying or anything, I was like, yeah, I'll be good. You know what I mean? I'll be chill. Like, don't worry about it. You know? But
Was there ever a moment? Was there ever like a traumatic moment? You're like, holy shit! Like, I need to stop.
yeah,
Like,
when I got a DUI. When I got a DUI, I got my DUI, and at that moment, I felt like complete trash, because, you know, we weren't in the best financial situation, and then to get a DUI and then pay all those fees and everything, that's like 10, 15 grand, and it's just like, I took that away from my family. You know what I mean? And I was just, I felt like
put a
I
burden.
was
You
at,
put a burden.
yeah, I was at ground zero for sure. I
So,
was
like,
at ground zero.
right now, how you mentioned people that you were going to go hang out with, they would tell you, like, are you going to be good? Like, when they're telling you that, what are you feeling and what are you thinking in that moment?
I'm feeling, I'm a grown ass man. I'll do what I want.
It's my body. I do what I
Like,
want.
I'll drink
So,
as
like,
much as I want.
Because obviously, like, nowhere in that moment are you thinking, like, damn, what am I doing? How am I acting? Why are they questioning me? And that's why I ask,
Yeah.
because I feel like there's times where we don't really know what we're doing, but nowhere are we, like, willing to listen to what somebody's saying, because it's like it's somebody kind of being indirect with you. Like,
Yeah.
are you going to behave, when you come out and play? It's
I
like,
know, for real.
it's like, why don't you just tell me straight up, you know what? When you come out and you excessively drink, you become this person. And I think that's another thing about loving yourself and loving the people around you. It's having transparency,
Yes.
being able to be transparent with yourself and not hold back what you're truly feeling, because you're feeling it and they're making you feel this way. And we should be able to speak, like, our truth, not just to ourselves, but to the people around us.
Yes. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, because when I was younger, my one thing my stepdad would say would be, if you drink and the next day you wake up and people are mad at you, you shouldn't drink.
Yeah,
And yeah, and I agree with that, because I was the same.
what if you didn't remember? If
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter.
I had a lot of those.
Yeah, me too. I mean, a lot of,
I think we all can relate
Yeah,
to
right?
that at one point
At one
or
point.
more in our life.
For real.
and it's a horrible feeling.
It
Um,
is.
I remember a time where I was just, hey, like, I was just mean. I was and I was like kind of mean towards, like, women, not like abusive or anything like that. But I had this thing when I moved on my own, and I was big on, like, respect, and you need to respect me type of thing. And since it was my house, I had full control. And the moment you stepped out of line, I would just tell you to leave. I will kick you out.
Oh, by the way, my brother has a big thing on you leaving hair behind.
Yeah.
So,
So
in
y'all
the
better
bathroom.
y'all better pick up y'all hair. It's nasty. Y'all
You
ladies
get
sometimes are
sensitive
nasty,
about a lot of
especially in the
things.
shower. And I go in the shower and then there's like all that hair like on the shower and it's left there. That's nasty. But anyway, that's a different
Right.
topic for a different day.
Yeah, I think Mo hit like the nail on the head when she was talking about, you know, just being honest. You know, a lot of people, one, are scared to be honest, and then two, a lot of people are scared to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They get upset at the truth, but it's at the end of the day, it's like when you tell the truth. When I always tell the truth because it just I have nothing to hide, and it's just there's no weight on my chest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like if it hurts your feelings, or you know, I'm sorry, it does. It is what it is, but that's just how I feel. I'm just being completely honest, you know. And I think it's hard for people to take honesty, you know.
Yeah, and that's all. That's a lot of us.
Yeah.
But it takes maturity. For,
Yeah.
That's really what it
yes,
is.
agreed.
Maturity is you hold yourself accountable, and it's a same concept of constructive criticism.
Mhm.
You know, it's checking yourself. Hey, if it's knowing, hey, if I did something wrong, someone brings up to your
Checking
attention.
yourself.
It's like you check yourself. Oh
Checking
shit,
yourself,
my
yes.
bad. You know, but it comes with maturity, and it's also it's how it's presented to you.
Yeah.
If someone,
It's all about your approach.
yeah, that's number one. That's what I've learned. In general, it's just how do you approach things.
Okay, so what are some techniques that you use to check yourself?
Especially because you're a manager, supervisor.
A lead, and a supervisor. But number one is listen to people around you, especially the people that you respect. That's number one, and you kind of just need to be aware. We know what's right and what's wrong. We're 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 adults. We know when we're getting out of line, when it's being we're being uncharacteristic of ourselves. That's when you got to check yourself. Oh, you know what? I'm getting too loud. I need to take a step back. I need to chill. It's catching yourself, but it's hard.
Right.
It's not something that is instinctive. Like people could just do it instinct. It's something you have to learn.
Right.
You have to learn.
And I guess it goes back to loving yourself, and not only that, not just loving, but knowing yourself.
Yes.
So you have to be so in tuned with yourself to know right now this conversation has triggered me. I know what my next move is going to be on that chessboard. I'm going to either pop off, I'm going to be reactive. So now that means that you need to have that self-awareness. I need to walk away.
Self-control.
I need to just not say anything. I need to collect my thoughts, and it's okay. And I think this is the biggest thing that I know for myself, I didn't learn as a kid, where it's like, it's okay to say, I need a moment.
Yes.
You don't always have to have the answer in that moment. It is okay for you to process it and come back with your answers. Because one thing that my cousin told me, I'm very analytical, and I analyze situations and I play them over in my head over and over before I approach somebody. And she tells me, you got a chance to process it. You're now throwing it at them full throttle and expect an answer. That's not fair. And how my brother said, being able to listen to somebody, it's like, you don't want to listen to that. You want to be like, no, I need an answer and I need it now. But she's right.
Right, meow.
Yeah.
Okay, meow.
All right, meow. All right, meow.
Yeah.
But she's right. Like, we have to understand that not everything deserves an answer in that moment. But I want to go back to when you started talking about the situation. You said something about the person that you respect. So is it only people that you respect are you willing to hear out, or is it in general?
Honestly, for the most part, it's not to say people that I respect. There's just certain individuals that I don't know, how can I say it? I do take people's feelings and what they say into consideration. You know, that's
Mhm.
don't get my words twisted. Look at over here.
Yeah.
She's doing that a woman thing. She's like
A woman
re-
thing,
oh,
yeah.
reversing
No,
my
no, no.
words
She's
and
getting
stuff
herself in
like that.
trouble.
No.
Yeah.
He said the word respect.
Respect, yeah.
But I can also understand, like, does somebody that maybe you have a closer relationship with, do they stump another person? I can agree with that too, where maybe somebody off the street, you're not going to take their word for gold, but maybe
Mhm.
somebody who really knows you and you know that they're coming with the best interest at heart, maybe you're going to take what they're saying, a little bit more in depth than somebody else that you just met.
I would say it's all circumstantial.
Yeah.
Everything's circumstantial. But can you say now that you love yourself? Can you say now that,
I'm a work in progress.
or do you think loving yourself it's a continuous thing? It's not like, because I can imagine certain situations we could be loving ourselves and then boom, certain situation happens and then boom,
Yep.
now we no
Fall back.
longer love ourselves at that moment, you know? And that's why it's good to have a good backbone of family and friends
To hold you accountable.
to not only hold you accountable, but we all need that lift.
Mhm.
We
Okay, I
not
got
we
my
all
math.
you know what I'm saying? Like
I got
we
my
all
math,
need people
accountable.
to pick us up, and we understand too. Not everybody's blessed and fortunate to have those people to pick them up. You know, there's a lot of families where they get pushed down to where it's like, how do I love myself? How do I love myself? The moment I walk into my house, it's like I'm being told I'm worthless. I'm being told no one loves me. And that's a challenging part for a lot of people, because a lot of people do go through that. Like, we're blessed too. We do have good people around us that love us. You know, yeah, we had to cut people off, but how about for the audience that they could say, well, you know what? No one loves me. So how can I love myself when I don't even what is love? Because there's people that literally have never been told, I love you.
Mhm.
Like, that word, it scares them,
Yeah.
let alone loving myself. You know, I think a lot of people on the streets, you know, that are doing whatever they're doing, they don't love themselves. But it's a lot of it has to do when we're kids, and then we grew up.
I
And
think he's gonna cry. He's gonna cry soon.
no, I'm just
He's
I'm
gonna
just
shed a tear
I'm just
soon. No, it's
I'm just
coming.
curious. Like,
Yeah.
and I want to get your guys' thoughts of
I'm gonna
potential situations like that.
I'm gonna piggyback off of more on how you said somebody going into a household. Now, I'm gonna say, as a young teen child, where this is your family, and in this very moment, you can't make that executive decision for yourself because you're a minor and you're just living in it. If that feeling is already sitting with you, that you feel that your family is not showing up for you, loving you, caring for you, we all are able to receive it from other people, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a friend, maybe a tío, a tía. I would say feed off of that and just know that there are more people out there who will love on you. Now, if you are an adult in that situation, it is okay as an adult to step away and walk away from your friends and family. If this means your own mother who's talking down to you, it is okay to love your mother from a distance and not show up at her house again. You have to control what you allow in your presence. You're going into that person's home. You have no control of what happens in that home, but you do have control over what happens in your home. So now, if this person's coming into your house mistreating you, then you have the right to ask them to leave and never invite them back. Even if it is your mom, your dad, your sister, it doesn't matter. You have the right to do that. it does say honor your mother and father. You are honoring them by not disrespecting them, by not calling them out of their name. But it does not say that you should take abuse from your mother or anybody close to you. So that's what I will speak on that situation.
How about you, Aid? Like,
Oh man, I got so much going through my head. Well, first, like as far as like, you know, when you were talking about respect, I think everybody deserves respect. I think everybody needs to earn trust. With that being said, I think what helped me start loving myself is being in tune with my emotions. You know, being in control of my emotions, not allowing people, comments, you know, anything to get me upset or, you know, as Mo was saying earlier, like you don't need to have the answer. Somebody's mad at you, it's all right to walk away, even though you're getting angry. Take a couple deep breaths, you know what I mean? Take 5-10 minutes, whatever, and then come back, and then you're at a calmer state, and you're able to address the situation, and the outcome is going to be 10 times better than you just acting out of anger, acting like just on that first emotion that pops into your head.
yeah, it's more like instincts. Like people's instincts kick in and they become impulsive.
Because it's a fight or flight.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and but
Instincts are what they're used to in their relationship or, you know, who they're dealing with.
and we don't understand how powerful
Words are.
not only words but our minds.
mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our minds. Like
Yes.
at the moment people are getting to because I used to be the same way where I would get into like let's say me and A got into an argument and I wouldn't be able to let it go. I'd be like, nah, Aid, we need to squash it right then and there. Right. But it wasn't until as you get older, you start to be more aware of your surroundings to where it's like, yeah, you know what? I do need to take a little break. And that's where a lot of like younger people, because some people they can't control themselves. They get so wound up. You know,
It's not easy.
because I could imagine if I'm looking at opposite, if I'm sitting here listening to us, I'm like, well, you guys are making it seem like it's fucking a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
You know, but I would tell you this, like, train yourself. Like, you got to train yourself. You have to be aware of your emotions. You have to.
All right, so you say train yourself. What do you do personally that helps you with that?
Well, number one that really helped me was seeking that help, you know, because there you could read, you could talk to your friends, your family, but a lot of that is going to be biased. You know, sometimes people tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear, and those are the big difference. And that's one thing I want to let the audience know. You know, when you guys are out going out there seeking advice or comfort, be ready to want someone to tell you what you need to hear. That's the only way we are going to evolve.
Not what you want to
Yeah.
hear, but what you need to hear.
But I'm sorry. Repeat your question. I'm sorry.
What do you do in order to
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So number one was
the
you
list?
have to recognize it. You have to recognize it, and you have to understand when you don't really have the tools or the ability to do it, you got to go get the help. And I'm a big activist on you know, getting help, therapy, not medication. I think a lot of times we can't do it on our own. So if you ever do talk to someone and then they automatically give you a pill, well, you just want to go speak to a drug dealer, not to someone who really wants to help you. That's to me that's what they're doing. They're just giving you a pill. But yeah, and it's peeling the layers. Because there's something when we're that active, when reactive, and we're not loving ourselves, there's something going on.
Yeah.
There's layers upon layers.
Yeah, I think what helped me is when I get into situations, I now instead of being angry or dwelling on what just happened, like say, oh, I lost $50, or you know, or I don't know, whatever situation I'm in, instead of dwelling on what happened, I started thinking, okay, what was the lesson in that? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? How could I have done it differently? And that's the approach I take. Whether it was a fail or a big loss, all right, it is what it is. I can't change it.
And I think what you just said, you self-reflect and you take accountability.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing in life is as individuals, we don't self-reflect because again, we're very much so in the wrong just as much as other people.
Mhm.
And taking accountability for where we went wrong, maybe how we reacted, maybe how we didn't react, maybe, whatever the case is, we need to be able to sit with ourselves. And I'm going to be honest, that was the most
Yes.
scariest thing for me was to sit with myself and get to know my likes and dislikes and what
Yes.
triggered me and what didn't trigger me. And my biggest thing with my ex was I hated.
Bringing out the X. The
Yeah.
X. Dropping the X bomb,
Oh,
son.
there you
Oh,
go.
shit. Let me grab the
I-
tissues.
I
It's
hated
about to get watery.
when she would call me by my name in an argument.
Oh, that's when you know it's serious.
Yeah.
So it got real.
That's when she got real. You know when you were young and your
Yes.
parents call you by your
By your
full
full
name.
name.
Oh, you know you're
Legal name.
fucked. You know
That's
you're
it.
fucked.
Damn.
And that was a trigger for me.
Uh-huh.
And I had to sit with myself like, why does it trigger me?
Yeah.
And it just ends up stemming from like, I know that things are about to go south and I don't know how south they're going to go and I'm not ready for it.
Mhm.
So I'm used to having control. Like I like control
Yeah.
and I like everything perfect. And when it's not going perfect, I'm like, shit, how do I fix it? And I want I want a rapid fix.
Yeah.
I don't
That quick
want,
band-aid, like,
yes, yes. So she would do it often and I would just I would shut down. Don't talk to me. Like you already know what you just did, even though, maybe I did something wrong, but the minute you call me by my name, Monique, I'm like, I'm out. I check out.
Yeah. And that's a good point that you made, about when you were saying being by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I think I did the same thing. I was scared to be by myself. I was never by myself. I was always with somebody. But when I started being by myself, I started to really realize who I was and what I wanted. There'd be times I'll be driving to work with just no music on, no nothing. I'm just driving and in my thoughts, and like you really do learn a lot about yourself when you are alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what do you think the steps are like as far as when the moment you acknowledge, or what are the signs when you're like, I don't love myself? I mean, I would say I would probably answer my own question. An indicator.
So you just asked yourself a question.
Yeah, I just asked myself a question.
You just asked yourself a question.
He's I'm feeling left out.
He,
on my
he
own
wants to talk,
podcast.
ladies and gentlemen. He wants to talk. Go ahead and talk, Papa.
It's
It's me time.
it's MJ's time.
That's all right. Go ahead.
No, but in all seriousness, I think one attribute of a sign, temper, when you're just easily just triggered, that's a sign. And it's not cute to sit here and say, oh, I'm toxic.
Yeah, it's not.
That shit is not
Yeah.
cute. I don't know why people go out and thinking it's cool. It's cool to be fucked up in the head, and people just need to accept you for who you are. That is not okay. That right there, again, maturity. But yeah, I would say definitely when you're triggered, right? And number two is when you need someone else to make you feel happy. Learning how to be independent. I would say for a long time I was codependent. I needed other people to make me happy, and being single, ladies, single over here. I blink with both eyes 'cause I can't blink with one.
Remember, guys, he doesn't want your pillows in the bathroom.
She's really talking about the guys.
But like when my ex dipped, I didn't love myself for quite some time. I was trying to find any replacement that I could because I didn't I didn't have that love that I didn't have that love anymore, and I didn't love myself for that moment, and that's when I knew I needed, to get the help that I needed.
Were you scared to allow yourself to feel all those emotions?
Yes, no one likes to feel pain.
Yeah.
Nobody, especially emotion, especially heartbreak pain. Oh my God, that's because you just replay things in your mind, and that's it. Like your mind just takes over, and you're like you're no longer in control, of your own of your body. It's just like your thoughts. But those were my signs. Those were my signs which is tempered, and I was seeking out other people to make me happy. That's why I knew, like, I don't love myself right now.
Mhm.
And for me to give not only my son, my future partner that love, I need to love myself. And it takes work, continuous work,
Consistency.
consistency. I hear this a lot. I'm working on myself. I'm working on myself. Well, what are you? What
What
are
are
you
you
doing? What are
doing?
you doing
Yeah,
to work
exactly.
on yourself? Like people just throw that word out there, but when I ask, what are you doing? Like, hey, are you reading any psychology books? No. Are you talking to a therapist? No. So then you're just saying it. You're not actually doing any work. So and that's
Yeah.
important. That's important for your future partnership. Because if you don't love yourself and you go into a different relationship, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to
Mhm.
work.
Yeah.
And then you're going to end up even digging yourself deeper in a hole, feeling worse. So, I mean, those are my signs. So I'm curious to know your guys's signs or, indication like shit. Like, I'm not loving myself right now because it is a day-to-day challenge. Like I don't love myself every single day. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I wake up, oh, I love myself today.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Mhm.
I don't. Um,
Why?
a lot of it's sleep. I think sleep kind of like puts
Sleep
me,
dep-
puts me like in a bad funk. I would say mostly that, or if I'm not productive, like I feel a little
Okay.
off, you know.
Mhm.
So I'm just at a different place in my life, but I definitely I recognize it though. I recognize it right away. Holy shit, James, like, or MJ, like I'm not feeling myself. I'm not living myself right now. Like you got to recalibrate yourself and do things positive things that make you feel good again. Rather, and it could be anything. It could be you playing music. You could be going to seeing nature, going on a nice hike, working out, spending time with family. It could be there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
So
What's your approach, Mo?
What was the question again?
So,
I,
yeah, he was all over the place.
no,
Yeah.
I
like
know. No,
like
I'm
what
just
like
kidding.
what when do you notice you're not loving yourself? What are the signs that
Mm.
you give yourself? Like I'm not loving myself right now.
Or also like, what do you do to prevent yourself from getting angry or lashing out or being that person that you used to be?
So one, I'm not a lash out person. I'm a shut down person.
Okay.
So I shut down and I'll pull back. Before I used to be a walk away person. Like I would just walk away from you. If we were having an argument, I would walk away. But without saying anything. That was my go-to ammo. Like, I'm fed up with this. Like, I'm not getting nowhere. I'm out. But then I would never come back into the conversation as to let's finish it and let's figure out the why. Can we move past this? Um, so walking away now is not something that I do. I do try to get down to the nitty gritty. Is this fixable? Can we move past this? Um, can we reconcile? If not, okay, let's take the next step. It was a lot of learning. I was in a 7-year marriage where I can honestly say I did not love myself from start to end. The day that I married, I knew it was not for me. And that was the first time I realized I dismissed myself as a whole because I was people pleasing and didn't want to let the people who were there for my wedding down. But the one takeaway that I will say is the only person that I let down was myself.
And again, the audience, have you ever experienced that? I'm pretty sure there's been a lot of people who got into marriages just because it was
And not just marriage, just
relationships.
anything, jumping the gun to something where you felt it gut wrenching. Like, this is not for me, but you're still going to do it anyways because maybe somebody helped you get the job and you don't want to let them down. Maybe, somebody introduced you to somebody and you just don't want to let that person. Like, the biggest thing is every time I thought I was letting this, that, and the third down, I was letting myself down over and over and over and over. And now, knowing how to show up for me, and not that I don't care about letting people down, but I'm setting the tone for who Monique is, and the people around me, they're gonna see it like she ain't messing around no more.
What's that tone sound like? What's that tone sound like?
Mo?
I'm out. This ain't for me. I'm out.
Well, it seemed like this is a conversation that we could just kind of go on for days.
Yes.
But anything else on CA that you want to speak on as far as loving yourself?
For me, it's I mean, I'm gonna talk about my triggers when I know I'm getting upset or I'm gonna take the approach that I would take back in the day because I'm changed now. I start talking to myself. I start hearing, like, I start working myself up. Oh no, F that, this is gonna happen. And once I start feeling like that, I was like, okay, hold on, you're gonna get angry, you're gonna get upset. Take a deep breath, step back, and approach it differently. That's not you anymore, and I've gotten a lot better with that to where as soon as I start thinking something bad or what I mean, I stop it immediately. And then just take a different approach and change my thought process.
How long did it take you to analyze that?
I'm still working on it, but it took me probably a good year and a half.
Yeah.
I would just solid like really work and trying different techniques. A technique that I would use is as soon as I would start doing that, I would just close my eyes and I would just listen to myself breathe so I can give myself an opportunity to clear my mind and really gather my thoughts and focus on, all right, how am I really going to approach this?
Yeah.
One thing that I really want to share as I'm listening to both of you is just commending you guys on your vulnerability as men. Honestly, like as
well, he's
men,
a seaman, so just to
yes,
let
I was in the
know.
Navy. Obviously, we all know.
I'm just saying, gotta highlight it.
As men, you don't really hear too many people being able to know their triggers, their wants, their needs, their just having that self-awareness of themselves. So to hear the both of you guys in different ways being able to share that, to me, when I seek a partner, I see that, like, I find that attractive in a man who's able to be so in tune with their thoughts, feelings, and emotions and triggers and have these intellectual conversations on feelings. Because women, that's what we feed off of. Like, we only know feelings and emotions. But when you're able to share that with your significant other, I feel like it makes life so much easier.
Ladies,
easier.
I am emotionally available. I'm just letting y'all know.
And he's very emotional.
That he is.
He is.
Yes.
But we just want to just wrap this up. Is there anything else we would like to add?
I would just like to say, try different techniques, different strokes for different folks. Do what you can. Just try to be better than you were the day before, and just keep working at it. You're gonna hit roadblocks, break through those motherfuckers. You got this. You know, if you need us, you know where to find us. Riding the wave.
Yeah.
Whenever you're feeling unloved, just know we love you guys.
We all love you.
We love you guys, just the way you are, and to especially as Mo said, to a lot of the men out there, like, hey man, let's go ahead and be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Let's be better. Let's open up, and as we stated, the floor is for you guys. We want to put you, the audience, first, and whatever discussions you guys want to have, let's bring it to the table. Let's be better for ourselves, for everybody, for everybody else in that's around us in our community. You know.
So I just want to put a small little quote out there that
Here we go with the quote.
It's a girl thing, right?
Yeah.
It's very small, but it's be the love you never received. So going back to how my brother said, if you didn't have that love in your household, but you know what you needed as a kid, so be that love that you never received and give it to yourself wholeheartedly, because you deserve it. And we all deserve love, even if that means us just loving ourselves and showing up for ourselves.
And number one, we love you guys. We love you
guys.
Definitely love you guys.
We love you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. Catch us next week, every Friday at 8 a.m. Riding the wave. If there's any comments, suggestions, anything to make this podcast better, we love to hear it.
Check us out on Instagram.
DM us. And
don't be sliding into my brother's DMs either. Okay?
Don't DM me. You get me in trouble.
Thank you guys again for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. You guys have a great week. We'll see you.
Stay amazing. Love y'all.